The purpose of this video is to help you become familiar with the tablet we are sending and to instruct you on how to use it to complete the unit commissioning of the carrier units with the RTU open boards. First of all, you're going to use this tablet on the roof. If it is a sunny day, you'll need to shade the tablet in order to see the screen. An umbrella or a large box will help you shade the tablet. You should have this with you before you begin using the tablet on the roof. Make sure you have the tablet fully charged the night before you visit the site. If the tablet charge gets low while you're on the roof, you'll need to plug it into the nearest receptacle, so be prepared. When you get to the roof, there are a few things you need to double check on each unit before you connect the tablet. Check to see if the correct unit address is dialed into the green RTU open board. The dials are located just above where the cable is to be connected. The one furthest from the cable connection point should always be 0, and the dial closest to the connection point is set to the unit number you are working on. If you need to change the unit address, the unit's power must be cycled off for a few seconds, then turned back on. Check to see if there is a zone sensor connected to the board on the J20 terminals numbers 1 and 2. If not, you'll need to install a resistor to simulate a temperature. Resistors are supplied under the foam of the tablet case and are to be temporarily connected as shown. Confirm that there is not a temporary thermostat controlling the unit. It will be connected to the blue thermostat board next to the green RTU open board. Double check in the return air compartment to ensure that the temporary stats capsule type are not installed and connected other than on the thermostat board. You cannot test the unit with a stat connected. Double check to see if there is a temporary thermostat connected to the blue thermostat board. There would be 2 capsule type sensors in the return air section of the unit that are controlling the unit until the automation controls are installed. If you find them, they must be disconnected for the test. You can reconnect them when you are finished. Connect the cable to the board and to the tablet. Make sure the connection from the cable tail to the board is tight. Turn on the tablet by pressing the button on the upper left-hand side. After a few seconds, a rainbow screen will appear. Slide your finger in an upward direction and enter the pin 1111 to access the tablet. Touch the Winbook icon to open the desktop. Make sure you open the mouse by pressing the mouse icon at the bottom of the screen. This will make it much easier to select items going forward. From this time on, you can use the mouse to move around or make selections. It will be much easier to use the mouse than your finger. Click on the blue FA icon on the bottom left side of the screen to open the Field Assistant Launcher. It may take a few seconds to pop up. Verify that COM3 is selected below Communications. If not, click on the drop-down box and then select COM3. Click on the green triangle play button to launch the program. This may take a few seconds. Once the program loads, you will see on the left side of your screen a tree titled Test with a number of the RTU opens to choose from. Select the one that has the number of the unit you are working on. This is where the shade from an umbrella or box comes in handy, as the gray numbers in parentheses can be hard to see. The program for that unit will now begin to upload. If you see a red letter warning, cannot communicate with controller, you either did not properly select COM3, did not select the correct RTU on the tree, or the cable is not connected properly. Double check the connections, then close out the program by clicking on the red box in the upper right corner of the tablet. Then press the red box next to the green play triangle button to close the software. Begin again, making sure you have COM3 selected and that you have selected the correct RTU number on the tree. Once loaded, you may see in red letters, Control Program Parameter Differences Detected. If this is what you see, you will need to select Upload to upload the program from the unit to the tablet. A pop-up may ask you if you want to proceed. Press OK. This may take a few minutes, so be patient. In a few seconds, you will see the percentage completed of the upload process. The entire process may take a few minutes. Once this is complete, you should see a graphic of the RTU showing the current status of the unit. At the top of the screen, you will see a toolbar with graphics highlighted. Click on Properties tab to the right. A group of menu titles will shortly be seen. Click on the Status menu and confirm that the unit is communicating by noting the current status of the unit. To the right of the equipment status, you should see Run. For system mode, it should either be off, cooling, or heating. If you see all question marks for all the data, you are not connected and will need to go back and start over. If for some reason you still see question marks after the second try, you'll need to start over again, but this time click Download in lieu of Upload when asked to choose. If you see the system mode noted as shut down, the RTU is being held off by an external source. To get the unit out of shutdown mode and allow the unit to run in test mode, you must have 24 volts on the terminals 9 and 10 on J1. Check to see if 24 volt AC power is on both of these terminals. If not, you'll need to temporarily jumper to get power to both of these terminals. You can jumper from terminal 1 of J1 or R from the blue terminal board next to the RTU open board. The jumpers must be removed when you are finished with the test. Once you clear the shutdown problem, if necessary, you should now see under Status, next to the equipment status, Run. Next, click on the Configuration menu. Then the Service Configuration menu. At this point, it is a good idea to make sure the board is properly configured to the unit you are working on. Starting from the top, check the unit type. It should be Heat Cool. If not, click on the drop-down box 3 columns to the right and select Heat Cool. Every time you make a selection, 2 yellow targets will appear at the top of the screen. You need to click on Accept at the top of the screen to make the change. Work your way down the rows until you get to the DCV controller. This is the last item to confirm on the RTU open board to edit. Both RH control and DCV controller will need to be disabled. Some units may have RH, relative humidity, control, but that function will be taken over by the controls contractor. Next, scroll down a bit further to the Service Test menu. This is where you will test the control functions of the board. You will need to enable the test function by clicking on the Disable drop-down box to the right of the service test and then click Enable. As before, you must click on the yellow Accept target at the top of the screen. This will put the unit into test mode. To confirm the unit is in test mode, scroll to the top and view the status of the unit. It should show that both the equipment status and the system mode denote test. Be patient as this may take a few seconds to happen. If the unit was running, it should also shut down. Scroll back down to Service Test and enable the fan test, clicking the drop-down box to the right of the fan test. Click on Enable and then Accept. This should bring on the fan. The same steps should be taken to bring on the compressors and then the heat. Before testing the heat function, you must disable the compressors. You can either take the required pressure, temperature, and amp readings while testing the board, or later by jumping out the cooling and heating later on the blue thermostat board adjacent to the RTU open board. To test the economizer, click on the box with a 0 next to the economizer test. It should turn blue. Bring up the tablet's keyboard by pressing the keyboard icon on the bottom of the tablet on the right side. Click on 1, 2, 3 on the bottom left side of the board to bring up the number keypad and type 100. Again, you must now press Accept. At this point, the economizer should begin to open. Confirm that it opens to 100%, then close the keyboard and again click on the box that now shows 100. Open the keyboard and type 0, then Accept. This will drive the economizer closed. Please verify by checking the economizer dampers. This completes the test of the RTU open board and its functions. Once you are finished, you must now take the board out of test mode. If you do not, the unit will never run again and a return trip will be necessary. First, disable all components that you have enabled by clicking Disable on each one and then clicking Accept. Then, to take the unit out of test mode, click on the drop-down box to the right of the service test, presently on Enable, select Disable, then Accept. Confirm that the unit is out of test mode by scrolling up to Status. It should now show the equipment status is in run. Again, this may take a few seconds. You are now out of test mode and finished with the tablet on this unit. To close out of this unit, click on the red box in the upper right corner of the tablet, then the red box next to the green play button to exit the Field Assistant program. You can now proceed to the next unit. When finished, please make sure you shut down the tablet by pressing and holding the button down for at least 4 seconds. You will then be prompted to slide down on the screen to shut the tablet off. If you do not shut the tablet down in this fashion, the tablet will simply go into sleep mode and drain the battery while being shipped back to Engineering Excellence. This will cause damage to the battery.